You know, sometimes that you just see the headline of an article. Now, I don't know if this is satire. I don't know if this was written as a meme. I don't know. I don't know what this is. So I'm going into this completely blind. I've not read this article, but I am curious. I am curious because the key of a headline is to really grab your attention. However, in the modern day, it's not about interesting you in what the article might say. Most of the time, it's a headline so stupid that it makes people click on the article so that they can be angry because, in the modern day, rage sells and journalists are the parasites that feed on it. However, this headline, just on its own, the right wants to freedom us to death. It's just, I, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you with my freedom. I'm gonna, I'm gonna freedom you death right now. I'm gonna freedom all over you. That's it. Conservatives in the pandemic era. I love how it's just being. I mean that's at least honest. Like this isn't a pandemic we're going through. This is the pandemic era. All of this stuff, all the government authoritarianism, it's here to stay. It benefits the government far too much. They are never going to let it end. Never. Have revealed that their bizarre concept of liberty, the bizarre concept of liberty, is incompatible with human life. Liberty is incompatible with human life. You mean the natural human trait of being free is incompatible with human life. Humans' natural rights are incompatible with human life. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be glorious. Let me just beef up that text. Let me just beef up the enhance the stupidity. As if having one vice to endure weren't enough, I see now that Barry has a younger sister, Susie, who took to Substack last week to offer up a sympathetic account of frontline healthcare workers who don't want to get vaccinated. I'm not going to link to it. I have enough stuff weighing on my conscience without adding helping to spread ridiculous propaganda to the list. Yeah, well, that's excellent. It's a good thing then that this article isn't propaganda. Suffice it to say that sentences like in New York City, for example, the citywide mandate appears to have prompted 18,000 public school employees to get the vaccine, bumping the inoculation rate up to 95%. Because, I mean, yeah, when you threaten people with ruining their lives, you can get shit done. Imagine saying that, thinking you're a good person. Are introduced not as evidence of tremendous progress against the pandemic, but rather as an indication of how forcefully the state's remorseless jackboot has landed on the necks of the free thinking. Yes, I would actually agree with that. However, I kind of feel that this was said tongue in cheek. The madness in the House of Weiss is one thing, but when actual people in actual power share such reasoning, we have a real problem. And so we see Ron DeSantis, who runs a state that's home to 21.5 million people, declaring in the face of the Omicron variant that we are not in Florida going to allow any media-driven hysteria to do anything to infringe people's individual freedoms when it comes to any type of COVID variants. Florida has seen more than 60,000 COVID 19 related deaths and ranks 10th among the states in deaths per capita. Who's it? What states are in the? What states are at the top again? I mean, I know Florida's 10th, but what other states are higher than that again, and what current laws and mandates do they have? I just want to check. I was just checking. DeSantis has been more aggressive than any other governor in the country with respect to banning mask and vaccine mandates for teachers and firefighters and the kinds of nurses Weiss wrote about. And we got word just a few days ago that he wants to raise an army that reports solely to him, I suppose in case some busybody local public health official gets crosswise with him. Yes, this is a real thing. I haven't heard about Ron DeSantis trying to build an army or a militia or anything like that. However, I mean, it is in the Constitution. Americans are actually, kinda allowed to do that. When the government gets a little bit illegitimate, it's in the Constitution that the people of the the people of the United States can, get rid of it. I'm just saying. I mean, it's in your Constitution. But go on then, ban the Constitution. I know you're fucking desperate to. Future historians, that is, if future historians are actual historians and not a bunch of hired gun fascist stenographers cranking out hagiographies of Ivanka. Oh, for God's sake, man. Yes. I think this guy might be a little bit upset. Will have, I'm sure, a lot to say about a society that redefined freedom as the right to get other people sick and prop up a pandemic. Now, that's not what freedom is. However, that's a very, very nice, purposeful, and malicious misframing that you have done there. Freedom isn't the right to get other people sick. Freedom is the right for you to go about your day and your life unmolested and be able to enact your natural rights, and they cannot be imposed on unless you are infringing on the right of another. No one is actively going out and trying to get people sick. Nobody is actually trying to do that. But of course, you know that, however, you had to make up that little bit of nonsense, otherwise your point wouldn't have landed because, you, like many other people that think like you, well, your points need training wheels. So, those little lies and hyperbole, really, really add a little bit of grease to the wheels. We don't need to do that, however, because our arguments can stand on their own 2 feet. It's weird that, isn't it? But lately I've been thinking, why stop here? Why stop with the right to cough on strangers in a public place? You don't actually have that right at all. No, you can't do that. If you go up and cough in someone's face, that's assault. You could be arrested. If you go up and basically spray bodily fluids on another person on purpose, you can get arrested for that. You've no idea about law. Yeah, I've got the right to pee on people. I can just go up, unzip, and just start pissing all over everyone on the train. I can just go up there and willfully cover everyone in my bodily fluids. Because apparently that's not a crime. I'm allowed to do that. Go up, cough in their face, sneeze in their ear. Yeah, that's not a crime, apparently. Sweet Jesus. I mean, if we're going to redefine freedom, we're not redefining freedom. I think you'll find that that's you lot. That's definitely you lot that are redefining freedom or trying to get rid of it. Let's really go for it. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a laugh. Let's go. From this day on, I hereby announce that I shall prefer driving on the left-hand side of the road. Oh, here we go. This is gold already. I've always been kind of an Anglophile anyway. It just feels right to me. Also, it just feels right to you, does it? Okay then, that's fine. It just feels right. Also, I have decided that red means go and green means stay. I mean, if you want to die, then yeah, sure, why the fuck not? Because driving head on into an intersection is totally the same as being unvaccinated and just standing there on a train. That's totally the same thing. Yeah, yes, yes. Being standing, even if you've got your mask on, and a person has a mask on, and you're socially distanced, and you're standing there next to him on the train, that I can see that is 100% the same thing as driving head on the wrong way down the interstate, and also as well careening right into an intersection in front of everyone. I can see how those would be the same things, but this is the problem. See, with these maniacs, right? The vaccine psychos, the people that are thoroughly enjoying this pandemic, to be honest, they genuinely believe in their head that unvaccinated people literally go around licking door handles and rubbing their sweat on children's faces and purposefully going up and coughing and sneezing, even though I'm unvaccinated. Pretty much, all of my friends are unvaccinated, and whenever we go out in public, we take the exact same precautions as everyone else. We mask up, we socially distance, we wash our hands. We pretty much do the exact same thing as everyone else. We're not denying that COVID is real, isn't real, or we're not doing any shit like that at all. We go out and we take the exact same precautions as everybody else. The only difference is we're unvaccinated. Now, the problem is though, these people, basically people like us, have been dehumanized so much that, how whenever any type of government wants to, demonize a particular group of people when they're gearing up for something, what they will do is create caricatures of these people, and basically, this exaggerated image, usually very incorrect, of what these people are, and that is the image that they want to put in the heads of the general populace that are the ones that enjoy the taste of boot. Right, and here's an example of it working perfectly. Basically, right, everyone goes, do not ever compare being unvaccinated to the Holocaust, and that's not what I'm doing right now. However, back in the day, if this man lived in 1930s Germany, when the government started its, little thing, he would have felt hook, line, and sinker for it. He would have been snitching on his neighbours, going, I heard them say, oi vey. Right? This guy, he would have felt hook, line, and sinker for it. He'd have probably been a guard. Okay? Now, again, salty bitches, I am not saying that the unvaccinated shit is exactly like the Holocaust. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is this man is very, very perceptible to propaganda. Very, very perceptible. And he's bought it hook, line, and sinker. If other motorists don't like it, too bad. If freedom doesn't include the freedom to make my own traffic rules, then it is in fact slavery. I mean, that's fine. You'll go to jail though, because you have in fact directly endangered someone's life. This is you willfully trying to get people killed. Again, unvaccinated people aren't going around coughing in people's faces and licking door handles. None of them are doing that, right? You, however, are actively trying to kill people. So, that was a very bad example, pal. I've also come to hold the conviction that mild hallucinogens are good for people, so I'm going to start carrying out around a couple of vials of ground up magic mushrooms, and whenever I'm in a restaurant and see the chance, I'm going to sprinkle some on strangers' plates and give them a meal like they've never had before. They'll thank me later, I'm sure of it. I mean, they probably will. Magic mushrooms are pretty good. Depends on the brand. It depends on the species, though. Some can actually make you kind of nauseous, and they can actually ruin your buzz a little bit. What are you talking about? I am not. No, do not do drugs. Never do magic mushrooms. Never, never. We don't do drugs on this channel. No, no, no. Absolutely not. However, now, like I said, the unvaccinated people are going around not actually trying to infect people. Right? They're not actually trying to do it. Right? It's something out with their control, because even if you are vaccinated, you can still spread the virus, right? The only things that you can do is socially distance and put a mask on, which the vast majority of unvaccinated people I know do. This is you going up and directly spiking people's food. This is you meaning it. You're doing this on purpose. This guy has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. These are such bad examples, man. I've never seen anyone more clueless. Hold on, listen, here we go. And while this one doesn't pertain to me personally, it should be obvious to freedom-loving people everywhere that anyone with a sexually transmissible disease should be able to shag whomever they want without telling them about their condition. Oh well, go to California. Yeah, I mean, you start punishing people for that, the next thing you know, we're living in the new Soviet Union. STDs are actually I don't know how it is here. I don't know how it is in the States, but that's punishable because you've willfully done that. This guy genuinely, like I said, he's bought into the propaganda. He thinks that unvaccinated people are running around like rat caricatures, like going when you're not looking, they go up and go into your baby's face. He's bought right into the propaganda, and that's what he thinks, right? No unvaccinated people are going around willfully trying to infect people, but you all know that. You all know that. But this guy's just the hyperbole. He's really using it as a crutch. Naturally, these are four preposterous examples of what happens when we follow the path offered to us by such daft reasoning. Except that they're not. This is precisely the logic of DeSantis and nurses. No, it's definitely not the exact same logic as I have just argued there. Successfully, I believe. For God's sake, who won't get vaccinated? In the Weiss article, one woman said she wants to have kids soon and isn't sure about the consequences for pregnancy and breastfeeding and so on. Cool. Neither do Pfizer, neither do Moderna, neither do any of the companies. So, I mean, if that's something that you're concerned about, I completely understand why you don't want to get it. Oh, yeah, Pfizer locked their vaccine information for 75 years. Do you know that? As in, all the stuff about the vaccine studies won't be available for public. It won't be entered into public knowledge for 75 years. They'll be under lock and key. That's really weird. Do you know that most of the people getting the vaccines right now will be dead in 75 years? It's really. I'm just saying. I just think that's crazy. Well, I guess if Facebook threads are what you use in place of Grey's Anatomy, you will encounter some confusion in the matter. Everything I've read from actual public health authorities says the vaccine was that the WHO or the CDC? Was it them? I have trouble keeping up with them just because the information changes an awful lot. I try my hardest, but it just seems week to week. I know it changes, but it's okay. The science changes. You know, it's like physics and biology and all that stuff. Stuff changes. That's how science works. Everything I've read from actual public health authorities says the vaccine is completely safe for pregnant and nursing mothers. There's been a huge spike in stillbirths, by the way, or babies dying not long after they're born. I don't know if it's the vaccine, but I'm just saying this is the thing. I'm not attributing it to the vaccine. I'm not. I'm just saying recently, you know, in Scotland we had like I think it was about 25 in 1 month. In 1 month. But is it related? I've absolutely no idea. You know, I'll leave that to the scientists. Although their opinion might be different next week, and then the week after, and then the week after. I don't know, it just depends what the government wants. In fact, according to this Harvard Medical School expert, while COVID-19 cannot be passed from mother to infant via breast milk, some of a vaccinated mother's immunity against the disease can. Yes, that's absolutely true. Breast milk's, by the way, I realise that we all enjoy a titty here. We all enjoy a titty, right? But like, see when you realise like what tits do with like breast milk and shit like that. Like, you know, I know this is a pure weird thing to bring up, right? You know how the areola around the nipple, well, basically the baby's saliva gets absorbed into that. If there's anything like a cold or a virus or a bug or anything like that, that goes into the mother's body. The mother's body makes the antibodies for that particular illness and then puts it in the breast milk to give to the baby. Like, a titty can do in a few hours what what a fucking like gigantic pharmaceutical lab takes about 6 months to do. That blows my mind. I just think that's cool. Sorry, that was just an interesting bit of information that I enjoy. I know. Authorities and expert and Harvard are all dirty words. Yeah. My invocation of them merely demonstrates yet again what a gullible liberal sheep I am. Yeah, well, we've established that you have bought right into propaganda, so yeah, yes, you are. Rushing silently to my slaughter by the relentlessly burgeoning nanny state. Well, yeah, the state is becoming a nanny state. I mean, look at what they're doing with the back. Oh, just sweet Jesus. So please don't take it from me, but how about you trust doctors? Doctors are hardly a bunch of socialists, and 96% of them, according to an American Medical Association survey, are fully vaxxed. Shouldn't that tell us something? Yeah, because they were told they would lose their jobs if they didn't get it. That's what that tells us. Yeah, they were all told, get the vax or you're getting fired. So, yeah, I would understand why 96% of doctors wouldn't want to lose their six-figure income. Yeah, so, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, buddy. 9 out of 10 dentists. Historically, doctors as a group have been far more Republican than Democratic. But bless you, Google, because I have learned something researching this column. Great, could you learn something? A survey came out in 2019 showing that doctors were, for I believe the first time, more Democratic than Republican. My word, 36% Independent, 35% Democrat, 27% GOP. Among the reasons cited is the fact that the vast changes in the business of healthcare have made more doctors employees of large organisations rather than self-employed small business people. I don't doubt that's true, but I feel pretty confident that the change also has to do with the fact that the Republican Party is full of people who think man walked with dinosaurs. Oh, here it goes, man. Here we go. 2007 Reddit bullshit. And who have spent the last 20 odd months in the embrace of a death cult. Oh, go on, let me click the link. He's going to say QAnon, isn't he? He's going to say QAnon. Or Trump's culture warriors. Yeah, he's talking about Trump. Trump supporters. Trump supporters are a death cult. Yeah. God damn this hyperbole. It's like this guy can't make a single argument without exaggerating. And in fairness to our nation's nurses, who have been heroic for the most part, 88% are vaccinated. Heroic for the most part. Except the right-wing ones. Except the filthy unvaccinated rats. 88% are vaccinated. If the general population followed their example, we'd be close to herd immunity. What is herd immunity again? I'm pretty sure that's when the vast majority of people have already had the virus and have a level of immunity. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just the meaning of herd immunity changes so much. I'm struggling to keep up. Pardon. Probably and pending what we learn about Omicron, perhaps on a trajectory back to something like normal life. No, no, no. Even when you're on your fucking 19th booster, the government is never going to let us go back to normal. This is it now. This is it. Like, we could have 100% vaccination, everyone on 19 boosters, everyone's wearing fucking 8 masks, walking around in fucking bubble suits, and all anyone can ever do is sit in their room with a fucking visor on, connected to the metaverse for 24 hours a fucking day. Even when we are at that point, this will not end. This will not end. The government benefits far too much from this. Big Pharma benefits far too much from this, and they will never ever allow this to go away. That's what freedom really is. A condition of freedom is a condition. Freedom, terms and conditions apply. A condition of civic harmony to which we all contribute and from which we all benefit. We're a long way off from that and getting further with each passing week. Okay, then, what's his name? Michael Tomasky. Okay, Michael. I hope this article was bait. I hope you were just memeing. I hope you were. This is some. Oh, who's this is some Tatiana McGrath stuff. That is what this is, right? So I hope this was a meme. And if this was a meme, bravo, bravo, truly funny, great stuff, right? However, if this was not a meme, well then I'm very very happy that you're interested in doctors. Because you need to speak to a psychiatrist.